The 2003 movie, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, had 5 endings. Seriously, it did. Anyone who watched it knows and will confirm the number. So, since we're calling 1 Samuel 8, The Return of the King, in our Morning Minutes in the Bible studies, this is ending number 3. It's also Throwback Thursday on Friday because this article from Plain Talk Magazine, October 1983, was just too good to leave out. Dependence Upon God by Robert F. Turner. When the Israelites wanted a king, like all the nations, 1 Samuel 8, verses 4 and 5, the problem was much deeper than the name by which they would call their ruler or the form of government. Moses had told them the time would come when they could have a king, Deuteronomy 17, verses 14 through 20. But it was to be one whom God would choose, verse 15, and he would be the means for God's rule over them, 1 Samuel 12, verses 12 through 15. Their basic sin was lack of dependence upon God. The same fault was apparent with regard to the Jews' chosen status. In Romans 9, Paul points out that Ishmael and Esau were also descendants of Abraham, but Isaac and Jacob were chosen, wholly dependent upon God. The lineage of Christ was God's business, and arguing with him was like clay arguing with the potter. Paul then asks, what if God chose to show mercy to Gentiles as well as to Jews? What if God made Christ the testing stone, so that he saves those who accept Christ and rejects those who reject Christ? It is his business. Who are we to complain? This chapter does not teach particular election. It emphasizes our dependence upon God. He provides the means of our redemption, the crucified Christ that will save those who put their trust in him. Salvation is a gift of God, Ephesians 2:8, something promised. Check multiple uses of promise in Galatians 3 and chapter 4, verses 21 through 31. A promise is a statement of intent which prompts expectation and hope. The Jews failed to please God when they forgot their dependent position and acted as if God owed them honor. We will likewise fail to please God if we forget our constant dependence upon him and his gift and begin to act as if he owed us something. We are to beseech him for daily bread, Matthew 6:11, and be not anxious for other needs, verses 31 through 34. We may cast all our care upon him, 1 Peter 5, verses 6 and 7. But this requires that we humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. There is no room for demands. We come before God as sinners, unworthy, just as I am, without one plea, but that thy blood was shed for me. Without him, we are nothing. Physical Israel failed to understand God was their one and only king and looked to the nations around for a different model. Spiritual Israel, the church, Christians today, must always remember Jesus is our one and only king and stop looking to the world around us for a different model. We cannot live with him in eternity unless we kneel before him here on earth. Thanks for watching Morning Minutes in the Bible. Until tomorrow, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.